Okay, what I'm doing at the moment is writing for television, and a lot of the things you come up against when you're doing that or suggesting something a bit outward or a bit weird or a bit whatever is they say, it's not going to work for Middle Ireland. So basically everything that we do in this country has to be lowered down to the expectations of Middle Ireland. I use the I Claudius argument though, which is, well, how come then they were able to make one of the greatest dramas in the world with the greatest actors, and it was watched by 13 million viewers in the BBC on a Monday night in 1976. At the same time, Celebrity It's a Knockout was on at the same time. Most people think that Middle Ireland is a flat part of Ireland, where everybody dumps their car for some strange reason instead of just parking it. And they think it's all country people. And it is in the main. The middle of Ireland is that. The Greens, of course, have tried to stop this. Here we see the Green Party. But again, environmentalism is only the concern of 1% of you, or so I've seen from the way you're going to vote. And in fact, it's quite important to figure that out. Who are these people? Well, Middle Ireland is like a bad Irish mother. Really, it's only about 850,000 to 1 million people in the country. And they decide what happens to the other 3 million of us in every way. Art, sport, literature, all kinds of things like this. And effectively, there's another Middle Ireland, which is the Sunday Independent, which is read by 1 million people as well. I tried to switch to Andrex, but I just love its revisionist fibres. Now, essentially, what they do is, originally in this, 1916, they supported John Redmond, who is the weirdest poster I've ever seen, who wanted us all to go to war so we could get home rule properly in a nice constitutional way. But of course, when you look at what happened constitutionally, the number of Irish deaths due to constitutional means was 35,000. The entire conflict, the Troubles, Civil War, War of Independence and everything else, has cost 10,000 lives. So now we're seeing on a graph exactly where Middle Ireland got us in terms of dying. And of course, that party later became Fine Gael, who we're all going to vote in the next election because Middle Ireland wants to. This is a nice picture of Fine Gael giving the Nazi salute in the 1930s. This is actually Fine Gael. This is going to be the next government. Of course, there was another Middle Ireland, ladies and gentlemen. There was another Middle Ireland, and there was Fianna Fáil. Again, 850,000 to 1 million voters. 1 million people, yet again, deciding what happens to the rest of us, which is no good. But again, as De Valera said, who set up Fianna Fáil, the majority has no right to do wrong. So what happened then with Middle Ireland? We basically sold Ireland to ourselves, the way this pint of Guinness is drinking itself. It can't lead to anything but sadness and uselessness. We have to get rid of Middle Ireland, ladies and gentlemen. Look, when the English were here, we had 5,000 miles of railway. 5,000 miles. What happened when Middle Ireland, the winners of everything, took over? Well, we have a new transport system, a new rail system, which is only 1,000 miles. And as you can see, 1/4 of the country, the northwest, is completely inaccessible. It's part of the government's NWC GFI initiative, which is the Northwest Can Go Fuck Itself initiative. So, and of course, if we allow Middle Ireland to continue, the only way we'll be able to define what works in this country or how we get around is where the Supermacs are, because Supermacs are Middle Ireland's favourite restaurant, ladies and gentlemen. That's good. Eventually, that's all that's going to be left. So, I've put this map together for you. Basically, what Ireland will look like in 2020 if we allow Middle Ireland to stay here, to stay the way it is, and we don't get rid of it. Basically, what you can see in the north here, that 3 counties will be given back to us by the Brits because they're so sick of them. And now we're going to have even more Middle Ireland to deal with. One way of paying for that possibly would be to give Mayo to Shell. That's one way of getting rid of it. There is, of course, an escape hatch in Dundalk that we can use. And, of course, Cavan Monaghan will be a floodplain. More about floods later, ladies and gentlemen. The middle of the country, of course. We all love Poolbeg so much, don't we? So why don't we just stick it on the Hill of Howth and make it twice as big? Also over here, where the flooding is starting to happen in Clare, Galway, Galway has been renamed Festavia, because another way to pay for everything is to have a festival 52 fucking weeks a year, which is what Galway does. Also down here, ladies and gentlemen, we have the People's Republic of Cork, because by 2020, Micheál Martin will be its king, and that means Cork people don't have to keep saying, real capital by, only if you secede will you have a real capital. Here's my other solution, ladies and gentlemen. Flood the whole fucking lot of it. With the people in their houses. That way, you've destroyed Middle Ireland. You can, all the money that goes to the GAA, you can open science galleries in every village, every town, and you'll never see a magazine with a cover like this again in the country. Hands up who agrees with my idea. Well, of course you do. It's a science gallery. You're not from the middle of Ireland. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.